Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar on challenges in billing automation, 5 solutions, 1 problem. I am Kishore from eVapt marketing team and I will be moderating today's webinar. Today we will be discussing various integration related aspects related to data centers, especially on cloud infrastructure. During this webinar we will attempt to discuss how we can address the requirements of this segment. For this I have Mr. Nishikant with me today. Nishikant is the subscription management specialist with our organization. He will take you through today's webinar. Before I hand over the presentation to him, let me introduce eVapt. eVapt is a subscription management, metering and billing solution for cloud service providers. We have more than 14 years of experience in providing this solution. We have successfully helped more than 150 customers across 30 countries. To name a few of our customers, it's Giant, B&CRM, a leading telco in India, and other leading cloud computing operators based out of US. During the presentation, please feel free to raise hands or to post a question using the chat window. We will take the questions at the end of the presentation. Now let me hand over the presentation to Mr. Nishikant. Nishikant, over to you.
Thank you, Kishore. Good morning and welcome you all to this webinar on challenges in billing automation, 5 solutions, 1 problem. My name is Nishikant and I will be the presenter for today's webinar. This will be the agenda for our webinar. We will initially talk about the cloud industry and we will touch base on what various third-party analyst organizations have to predict about the cloud industry. We will talk about the key drivers of the cloud industry and the growth in the IaaS industry. We will look at some of the generic business processes in cloud industry. We will attempt to see what is the current context as to how organizations are using multiple systems to manage their business operations. Then we will get down one level deep and try and examine the various components of cloud ecosystem and see the role played by each of the component. And then we will talk about a concept called as the unified ecosystem, where we will talk about having all the systems in one centralized manner and also touch base on the benefits of a unified ecosystem. This slide talks about the cloud industry, its dynamics. It is estimated that the global public cloud services market will reach USD 66 billion by 2016, which means in the next 4 or 5 years, the market will triple itself. The Western Europe will grow at a CAGR of 31.2% from 2011 to 2016 is what OBM predicts. And the public cloud workloads may increase at a 50% CAGR in the next 3 years. This is an observation made by Morgan Stanley. So in a nutshell, the cloud model has been a fantastic success and it will continue to grow in the years to come. Now, what are the key drivers for this kind of a success? Now, the first and foremost, I would say, is the subscription-based services. Now, traditionally, when IaaS was offered in the co-location or managed services model, resources were rented to to customers on a tangible basis. But now with the subscription-based service, you have the option to make the infrastructure available on demand and the customers are built exactly in line with their usage. They have an option to ramp up or ramp down the infrastructure requirements based on their business needs. So subscription-based services is actually the key, is one of the most important key drivers of the cloud model. In this model again, since the customer doesn't have to really pay much of any upfront cost, his capital expenditure is reduced, and since he has the option to regulate his operational expenditure, this brings us to the next point where we said that it is cheaper than the traditional offering. Certainly, it is much more cost effective as compared to the traditional model of co-location or managed services. Now, by making your resources available to the customers exactly in line with their demands and by billing them exactly in line with their usage, you are able to ensure that your service quality is much better than what it was earlier. Now, from a customer's perspective, he has got a scalable infrastructure option, and he absolutely incurs no maintenance cost, and he has got a better control of investment. So these are the key drivers of the cloud business model. Now, if you look at some of the generic business processes, it's well understood that 20% of your customers usually contribute to 80% of your revenue. Right now, it is the traditional data center which contributes to that kind of customer base. Now, 80% of your customers, though, are on cloud model, probably contributing just 20% of revenue at this moment. But from a pure business perspective, if you observe, these 80% customers actually present a lot of future potential to your organization, and hence you should ensure that both these customers, both categories of these customers are treated equally, and you should actually pamper your 80% customers more so that you have better future potential as you go forward. What are IaaS providers doing currently? They are probably using several systems like a provisioning tool, a CRM, a payment gateway, a service portal, FAA system. But are all these systems operating as islands, or are all these integrated? Do they share the same kind of communication? Do they share the same kind of information is a big question. Now, that is what will take us to the concept of unified ecosystem. But before we get into that, let us examine the various components of a typical cloud ecosystem and see what is the kind of role each component plays. The first and most important component of an IaaS ecosystem is a CRM, a customer relationship management tool. It will actually enable you, it will help you in managing the entire cycle right from lead information management to billing, automation and management, which means you'll be able to maintain basic contact information, and you have entered contact information through a CRM and it is automatically maintained. When you make some updates, it's automatically done in the CRM, which means there is absolutely no manual effort. And everything is automated. You'll be able to manage your information much better than what you used to do earlier, probably using a typical Excel sheet. And in the process, by automating the information management process, you are actually reducing the cost incurred towards that. The next important component of your ecosystem is a provisioning tool, which is absolutely necessary for you to manage your usage details. Your customers' usage details have to manage automatically, and thereby provision on an automated basis, which means if a customer signs up for a new service, there has to be some kind of a system or a process where services are provided to him automatically without any manual intervention. And if your customers fail to pay up their bills in the given credit period, then there has to be a system where the services are disconnected automatically. And probably you will use some industry standard technologies like web service APIs or observer agent technology, which is an in-house technology by eVapt, to ensure that the provisioning happens automatically. You'll be able to customize the bill generated for your customers, so you have probably different groups of customers subscribing to multiple plans with various terms and conditions. So, which means each customer's bill is unique, and this has to be enabled by the provisioning tool. You should be able to allot resources automatically without any manual intervention, exactly in line with your customer's demands. And all this will sum up to what is called as ensuring uninterrupted service to your customers, which is the bottom line. The next important component of your ecosystem is a service portal. I would say this is the primary mode of sales in cloud, where your customer probably comes over to your service portal, registers himself, and puts in his details. And you can also do that for him. Your help desk agents can also do that for him. And by having a service portal in place, you are actually automating the customer acquisition process, and you are able to integrate your service portal using APIs and iframe. And most importantly, you are able to help your customers in making payments online through a web portal, which is very simple for him to understand, and your customer will be able to make payment through the service portal. The next important component of your ecosystem is a payment gateway, which will actually automate the online payment process. And by having a secure payment gateway in place, you are ensuring that the payments made by your customers are secure. So if you look at the diagram below, there is a service portal through which your customer signs up for a service. It is processed through the billing system, and your payment gateway processes the payment, and that information is communicated back to the service portal, so the customer knows if his transactions have been successful. And the billing is real time, which means by having a provisioning tool in place, you are actually metering and monitoring the usage details of your customer, and the billing is exactly equal to the usage and the contract terms and conditions, and you'll be able to manage your receivables information more effectively by having the payment gateway in place. The financial accounting system again is an extremely important component of your business system, and it will actually help you automate several processes, and it is one of the most important components to track the financial activity of your company. And by generating reports from this accounting system, your senior management has the ability to make decisions on the kind of investments being made across the organization. And finally, the billing system, I would say it is the backbone for automating the entire billing process. Traditionally, when this was being offered in a co-location or managed services model, the billing process was being taken care by a system, by probably an internal team of guys who are probably using a very simple application like Excel. But as your subscriber base grows, and as you are having more price plans and discounts and promotions into your place, and you are offering variety of plans for your customers, then you definitely need to have an automated system of billing your customers, and it should have the integration ability to be able to integrate itself with various other systems in your ecosystem. And it should serve as a complete subscription management solution in a nutshell. And your billing system should definitely be able to support several easy payment methodologies, and it should allow you to offer discounts and other promotion related activities to your customers. Now let's speak very quickly about customer acquisition. We have actually touched base this in one of our slides earlier. So customer acquisition can happen through three channels is what we think. So one is a CRM, which we spoke about earlier. The second is the service portal, which we also spoke about earlier. And third is a manual entry. Probably you have some field sales guys, and they are approaching your customers and manually entering these details. Now all these customer details have to come to a central source, and the billing has to be uniform. The logic behind billing to all these customers has to be uniform. And when you generate a bill for your customer, what are the typical two components? You have a fixed cost of service and your usage charges. Now in a cloud model, since the customer does not pay much of upfront cost, you are actually reducing that cost, and the usage charges are very transparent in line with the usage towards the previous month. So the bill amount will be a component of will be a combination of both these components. And automating your payments, again, that's very important. It has to be in line with your global customer expectations, which means your billing system should be able to support a variety of currencies, and it should be able to support multiple modes of payment from your customers, which means your customer should actually have the flexibility to make payments from anywhere and anytime. So if you look at the diagram below, there is a service portal from where the customer makes the payment. It is processed through the payment gateway, and after the payment is successful, the provisioning system is given an instruction to initiate the service. So all this is automatic, and which will reduce manual intervention and thereby errors. This is a very simple diagrammatic representation of the entire cloud ecosystem. So the service portal and CRM are the two major applications or tools which will be front-ending the customer. So the customers will be actually looking at these, and there is a provisioning tool and a payment gateway which act as a backend, which means all the backend processing happens here, and there is an information layer where there is information exchange between these systems. Now all these systems are connected to your financial and accounting system, ultimately to where the numbers should get reported to. Now by having a billing platform, a centralized billing platform in your ecosystem, you are actually centralizing the entire process so that all these systems do not have to operate as islands, and they can operate as one single entity. This brings us to the next concept, the most important concept, called as unified ecosystem. Will typically look like this, where there is a central billing system which is connected to all the other systems in your ecosystem, and thereby the information sharing happens seamlessly and real time. So before I get into the benefits of this unified ecosystem, let me take this opportunity to introduce our in-house product consultant, Pranay. Now Pranay will demonstrate a few modules of our product to give you a real-time feel of what has been discussed so far. So over to you, Pranay.
Yeah. Hi everyone. This is Pranay. I work as product consultant with Magnaquest Technologies. So for this webinar, we plan to showcase the integration capability of eVapt system to automate the billing process. So for managing the cloud infrastructure business, service provider employs or uses multiple systems such as CRM, provisioning, financial accounting system, and a few more. So for this webinar, we picked up a few mission critical applications that contain the data that was needed for billing, and then we will show you how eVapt can integrate with these applications to collect the billing data, billing related data to automate the billing process. So first let's see the CRM system, which is one of critical system in the service provider environment. The service provider salespersons uses the CRM system to manage their leads. So I am logging in as a salesperson into the CRM system, where I can capture the account or the data of my customer accounts. So once I capture the data, I can use this data to nurture my leads and convert them into potential customers. So once I log into the system, I have the privileges to create a lead or an account. So currently we are trying to create an account in the CRM system, customer account. So here you could see the fields that we need to fill out for creating an account. So the account name I'm typing in. So the customer account number 1, and these are some of the fields which I need to fill out for completing the account registration. So a customer named Phildex is my lead, and accordingly the currency, the billing media, and the billing address. So this is the set of data which we are capturing through Salesforce. And the country of the lead. So once I filled out all the details of the lead, I have a save button over here. By clicking on the save, I created an account in the Salesforce CRM system. So this is the whole set of data that was captured through the CRM. So from this data, we have a few information or data that will be required for the billing process. So if you consider the customer category, here we have different categories. So this is the drop down of different categories. So service provider might have customer category specific pricing of the services. So in such cases, for generating an invoice to these customers, the billing system first need to find out the customer category for this particular account, and then find out the pricing that was defined for this specific category, and accordingly generate an invoice. So for this to happen in an automated way, eVapt integrates with this CRM system and captures the data that will be useful for the billing related process. So now let me pull out the account that was created in the Salesforce in eVapt billing system. So this is the login interface of the billing system, and I am logging in as a super user. So once I log into the system, I have the privileges of accessing various functionalities of the system. I think we have just had a problem with it. So let me re-log in into the system. So here we could see the list of modules that were available in the billing system, and from this list, order management is the one which captures the data from the third-party CRM systems. It captures the customer demographic details related data. So here we have a unique ID called customer number. So for each account created in the eVapt system, a unique ID will be generated. So using this ID, we are trying to pull out the account. So here we are. So this is the account which we created in Salesforce. So the data might be coming from various sources like the CRM system or some other data sources. So to keep reference of the accounts that were pumped in through the CRM system, the Salesforce eVapt uses a label called Salesforce account reference. So here this is the address, billing address which we filled out during the customer acquisition. So this is typically a CRM integration. Now let's move on to another mission critical application, which is the service portal. So we tried to pull out a sample or a test service portal, which is an infrastructure as a service website. So here we have a service catalog of infrastructure services, some Intel servers. So the service provider displays the catalog on his website, and when the customer visits his website, he clicks on any of the service he was interested in. So once he clicks on this order now, he will be routed to an order form or a subscription form which contains a list of fields for capturing the customer data. So this is one of our primary ways of acquiring the customers in cloud business. So let me register a customer through the service portal. So here I entered the name of the customer and also the credentials. So these credentials can be used by the customer for logging into the web self-care portal where he can view his subscription details. So now I am furnishing in his credit card details. And at the bottom we could see the list of available plans, servers, co-location services and some other, a few more. So let me select free trial first and then enter the verification code. So once I furnish the details, I click on save. So an account will be created through the service portal, and I will be redirected to a login page where I can furnish or fill out the credentials and log into the web self-care portal as a customer. So once I log into the self-care portal, I could see the subscription details, my current plans. And in addition to these, we also have few more tabs like My Bills tab, where a customer can view his invoices that were generated to him, and also the service consumption details and few and other details. So eVapt also needs to integrate with the service portal, because we could see some data that is related to the billing process or that is required for the billing process. Here we could see current plans, right? So these were the services upon which invoice will be generated to the customer. So eVapt need to integrate with this service portal to capture the plans or the services that the customer is currently availing. So let me pull out these details that were created to service portal in eVapt system. So similarly, similarly an account number will be generated for the account created to service portal. So this is the account ID, and using this I try to pull out the account, the customer name Chris Logan. So customer registration is the one which captures the demographic details, and the service or contract related details will be captured in the order interface. So in order interface we could see the list of services. So this is the contract ID that was generated for this particular service, 30-day free trial. So eVapt needs to integrate with this to capture the order and accordingly generate the invoice. So as we have seen the service portal integration, now let's move on to other critical application called a provisioning system. Many of the infrastructure service providers have a provisioning system in their environment which delivers or provisions the services based on the services ordered and the SLAs. So eVapt need to integrate with this provisioning system to send the provisioning commands like the services that customer opted for and other things, so that accordingly the services will be provisioned to their end customers, to the service providers end customers. In addition to provisioning of the services, the provisioning system also stores the usage details of customer So if the customer is availing a server or a CPU kind of thing, the provisioning system captures the number of CPU cycles he consumed and some the usage details like that. So eVapt needs to integrate with this system to capture or track the usage details and accordingly generate the invoice. So that the billing process will be automated. So in absence of such integration, the service provider need to manually pull out the usage details from the provisioning system and upload the same in the billing system. So this particular overhead will be eliminated by this integration. So next to provisioning system, let's move on to the payment gateway. So we have a payment gateway. So this is the web self-care portal, and we have different tabs over here, and also we could see a pay online tab. So this is the tab which have integration to various payment gateways. Here we see a list of 4 different payment gateways like CC Avenue, PayPal, and other payment gateways. So if the customer wants to make a payment, he furnishes in the payment amount, and then the notes, the payment number or something like that. And from there, he will be routed to a page where he need to furnish his credit card details. So the customer furnishes in the credit card details and the expiry date and other things. So once he makes the payment, he clicks on save. And eVapt integrates with such payment gateways, and let me pull out that payment details in eVapt system. So the view payments is the screen where we could pull out the list of payments made by the customer. So here you could see the payment made, and let me pull out the payment receipt to see the brief description. So here we could see the payment amount and the currency in which he made the payment, and also the collecting entity. So such integration allows eVapt to automatically update the customer accounts upon receiving the acknowledgement from the payment gateways through which the customer made the payments. So without such integrations, the service provider need to manually update the accounts in the billing system or the respective accounting systems. So next to the payments, let's move on to accounts module. Or the financial accounting system which the service provider have for maintaining the data of different accounts like the customer accounts or his corporate account. So this is the system which actually keep track of the revenue flows. So eVapt can integrate with such financial accounting system, and for each of the revenue flow that was recognized, respective details will be posted into the financial accounting system. So let me pull out an interface where I can show you the integration with QuickBooks accounting system. So these were the list of systems that the eVapt has been integrated with. So let me select the QuickBooks integration and then the eVapt's accounting system, the inbuilt accounting system. So here we could see 2 different columns. One is billing system, and the other one is the third-party financial accounting system. So these were different accounts in eVapt billing system, like the purchase account, receivables, cash, sales, and a few more. And these were the accounts of third-party accounting systems. Here we have the QuickBooks. So these were QuickBooks accounting system entities or the elements. So the cash of eVapt, the cash account in eVapt billing system is equivalent to cash on hand account in QuickBooks accounting system. So once a revenue flow was recognized on this particular cash account, upon integration, the same will be pushed into cash on hand account in the financial accounting system. So that updating these accounts will be automated. So hope you have seen eVapt integration with 5 different mission critical applications. So from here on, benefits will be discussed by Mr. Mishra.
Thank you, Pranay. I hope all of you found the demo by Pranay informative, and you were able to visualize on what we have been speaking before the demo. And yeah, if you are still in need of any further questions or if you have some concerns, we'll probably do it in the Q&A session, which will happen after this demo. And still, if you have some more questions, you can email us in the email address which we will display at the end of the demo. And we'll be pleased to answer your questions and also arrange a one-on-one demo if needed. So just quickly to summarize on what we have discussed so far, we spoke about the cloud industry, the dynamics in the cloud industry, the key drivers of the cloud business. Then we have seen how organizations are operating with various systems in place, but all systems operating as islands. And then we looked at each of the important components of the IaaS ecosystem and the role played by each of the component. And then Pranay took us through the demonstration of integrating it with the centralized billing system. And that's when we touch based about the unified ecosystem, which is where the diagram here represents a unified system. So what are the benefits of having a unified ecosystem in place? One of the key benefits is it will support the subscription-driven business process, because you have a heterogeneous mix of subscribers, opting for various price plans, various discounts, etc. So if you have to manage that kind of a heterogeneous group, then you certainly need a very dynamic, flexible, and robust system, and that is possible only when all the applications or systems and tools are integrated under one umbrella. Your customer acquisition process becomes extremely flexible, which means you'll be able to acquire customers from multiple channels and hence and thereby centralize the data. You'll be automate your billing process. What happens here typically is when the billing is done as a manual effort, and when you have your subscribers growing, then in all probability you will end up paying a more amount of money towards the actual billing process as such. So, but if you can automate your billing process, then eventually you'll realize that the cost incurred towards billing function as such comes down, and you'll be able to provision services to your customers automatically and purely based on their usage. And obviously you'll be able to manage your information much better, because the information across all these systems will be uniform and the same. Quickly, what are the benefits of having a billing system like eVapt in place? One is everything is automatic, so there is absolutely no manual intervention as such. I think the only manual intervention that I see here is when you have a field sales executive who has to probably acquire the customer manual, but otherwise everything else is automatic. There are no revenue leakages. I mean, when you don't have any additional cost components and when you can manage your ever-growing subscriber base automatically, then then you will not have any revenue leakage as such. The entire business process is automated in your ecosystem, so you don't have to really put any additional effort to feed data into any system as such. You have the flexibility to choose business processes, and your business model as such becomes extremely flexible and scalable. You have better control over receivables. You'll be able to send reminders to your customers about payments, and you will be able to disconnect their services if they don't pay up on time, and you will be able to automatically connect services for your customers once they pay up. So there is absolutely no time lag in the kind of service you offer. And most importantly, there is extreme transparency in billing for the end customer. So your customers actually know what to expect as the bill amount at the end of the month, and there will not be any place for any surprises for them as such. So that brings us to the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions further, you can send us to the email addresses displayed there. Anyways, we will do a quick Q&A right now. So Kishore, do we have any questions from our participants?
Yeah, Nishkant, we do have a few interesting questions from our participants. The first question goes like this. Mm-hmm. How do you ensure effective integration with different applications within the customer's platform?
eVapt actually is a very dynamic product in that sense, because it has the ability to integrate with various applications. Some of the applications with which we have integrated have been developed and deployed in varied platforms. So I would confidently say that the solution has the ability to integrate with virtually any platform or any application that is open to integrate with APIs. That's the catch there. Now, some of our customers in the past have actually leveraged this ability of billing systems to automate their business process. So, and in most cases, these processes very specific to the service provider, and that was done seamlessly by eVapt. So, eVapt can actually be used as a billing solution in any subscription-based service, if I have to summarize it that way. Can we have the next question, please, Kishore?
Yeah, eVapt's ability to interact in an automated fashion with payment gateway provider.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think this was actually covered by Pranay in his demonstration and also in a couple of slides earlier. To start with, a payment gateway integration as such, I'm sure all of us will agree that it is a very typical business process. It has got some predefined steps, and it is based on the security norms of the country in which it is located. So, in our opinion, a billing system should be able to handle that kind of a customized workflow that you may choose to have in place. Now, from that perspective, I think eVapt has got very rich experience in implementing its solution to multiple leading service providers in the world. And we have experience in integrating our billing system with various payment gateways, both which are regional and international. So that way, I think eVapt system has got the ability to interact with any payment gateway in an automated fashion for sure. Can we have the next question?
Yeah, as we are running out of time, we will take one last question.
Yeah.
Please provide an illustration of how you sync such data with other applications.
The last question is will actually need some detailing from my side, I guess. eVapt has the ability, I would say, to support 3 modes of communication with various systems. Now, the first mode is very simple, which is the offline mode, where eVapt will be able to send or receive data in the form of predefined formats in the form of tables. Now, the second is the industry standard API, which is used for secure and effective communication. Now, the third part I'm sure will be interesting, which is the observer agent technology. Now, this is this has been developed by eVapt. It's an in-house technology which has got 2 components: the observer and agent. Now, the agent is actually a stateless element placed in the client's environment, and the observer is placed in eVapt environment. The agent's job is to keep sending the usage details to the observer, and the observer will monitor those details and thereby pass on the information to the billing system to generate bills at the end of the month. So that way, it's a very dynamic, real-time way of syncing data with other applications. So these 3, the traditional offline mode can be supported, the industry standard API or web service API can be supported, and obviously observer agent is a core value proposition of eVapt, which will support real-time communication with multiple systems. So I think we are running out of time. So if you have any further questions, we will be very happy to take them. You can email us at info@evapt.com or sales@evapt.com. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you, one and all.